Welcome to today's episode of the Apocalypse Cooking Channel. What are we making today? It has been a suggested item from a few people, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're making donuts! So a couple things you're gonna need here. Obviously you're gonna need something to mix this with. You're going to need something to fry in. Your ingredients. So while we're mixing our ingredients, let's go ahead and get our oil on and heat it up to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. Y'all wanna know what one of my favorite foods are? Corn! These are a traditional cake donut, or known as old-fashioned donut. You won't need yeast, and I know yeast is hard to find during this apocalyptic time. That's why I chose this donut. So for these donuts, you're gonna need 230 grams of sugar, 7 grams of salt, and 110 grams of butter. I will also give volume amounts down below. Now, if y'all have made cookies before and done the creaming method, this is exactly what we're gonna do. You're creaming your butter, sugar, and salt together to aerate it. Create a nice fluffy donut. Don't forget the paddle. Plug it in, huh? Start this off slow. You don't want your sugar and butter flying around everywhere. Also, use softened butter. Once your butter's been broken up a little bit and starting to incorporate, turn it all the way up. So part of the way through creaming your butter and sugar, make sure you scrape. Now you'll know whenever you're done creaming your butter and sugar when you get a nice white frothy looking color. Butter is naturally yellow, so we're trying to create air into the butter to make a nice bright color. While this is mixing, don't forget to periodically check your oil and see what temperature you're at. Looks pretty good. Barely. It may not look as white on video as I'm talking about, but whenever you're making it, it will look more noticeably white, not yellow. And don't forget to scrape. Next, we're going to add our eggs. It's about 140 grams or 3 eggs, a little shy of. Put it on slow so you don't fly your eggs out of here. Do it one at a time. Once your eggs have been mixed in, turn up the speed just a little bit. And scrape! You're going to need 400 grams of milk and 15 grams of vanilla. Same thing, put it in on a slow speed. Right now it looks kind of like a loose mess, but it'll get better, I promise. Last but not least, to turn this goopy, wet mess into a donut dream, you're drying. 510 grams of all-purpose flour, 450 grams of bread flour, 43 grams of baking powder. So for this step, I'm going to take the bowl off, put all of this in. It's such a large amount, trying to get it all in there, it's gonna be a little messy. Alright, start slow. You know those videos of flour flying everywhere? That's what will happen if you don't start slow. You're going to mix this until it's just combined. Don't overwork your donuts or else they're going to be really tight and dense whenever you go to eat them. Alright, we're done mixing. Let's get the paddle cleaned off and get set up to fry. So we've got our frying station set up. We have our mixed dough, frying oil at 360 degrees Fahrenheit, our drop spot for the fried donuts. And then I have a little bowl here with some sugar and cinnamon in it. You can do whatever outside coating you want. I personally love cinnamon sugar donuts, so that's what I'm gonna do. You can roll these out, you can cut them. I just like to do them in little balls. It's a lot easier. So we're just testing the first one, make sure our oil's at a good temperature, and make sure that it fries nicely. So you don't just have to do one donut at a time. You can do pretty much as many as you want in the pan, just don't overcrowd it. So I'm gonna do about 8 at a time, And always check your temperature of your oil while you're doing this to make sure it's not dropping too low. Your donuts will be filled with oil and be really gross if your oil gets too low. Ooh, that is frozen. Ooh, mother out, that did not go to plan. And also while you're frying, make sure to keep checking the temperature of your oil. Make sure it's not dropping too much, or make sure it's not getting too hot and you burn your donuts. Or perfect. Make sure you're cake testing it, or even temperature testing it. You want it around 180 to 190 internally. But I just use a cake tester, see if it's doughy, kind of like whenever you test a cake, cupcake, bread, that kind of thing. You done yet? We'll put it in our sugar and cinnamon mixture. And there you have it. I'm just gonna go ahead and fry a couple more. Be right back. Voila! We have dough balls, formerly known as donuts. Super simple. This can also go into that hashtag pastry pantry challenge. Use whatever you have in your pantry to make these donuts. I think you can make a glaze. Hit me up if you want to do that. Or you can just put nutmeg, cinnamon, sugar, whatever you want on the outside. But they're delicious, super easy to make. Practice your food safety and be careful. I have one now. You want one? I have one. You want it? I have one. Ah. Oh, hot.
Oh, hot. You want to do a thing? No, I'll say a thing.
Happy apocalypse. Thanks for watching.